afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And thank you so much for being with us today, where we're going to focus on Shivia's Agri-Management Services programme. And on later dates, we'll focus on poultry, goat farming, and fish farming. We've already run a virtual field trip in April this year to meet some of our poultry farmers, so do let us know if you would like to be sent a recording of that. So it's lovely to see so many familiar faces today, as well as some new ones. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ollie Belcher, and I'm the founder and chief executive of Shivia. And over the course of the session, I'm going to introduce you to some of our team and farmers in the states of West Bengal and Odisha. Some of you will know Odisha as Orissa, but today we're going to say Odisha. And if you hear us saying AMS, that is the abbreviation for Agri-Management Services. So it now gives me great pleasure to introduce you to some of our wonderful team in India. Many of you know Joe, our head of operations in India, and Joe looks after all our partners and programs in India and Madagascar. And today, Joe is in the office in Kolkata. Hi, Joe.
Hello, hello and namaste, ladies and gentlemen across the globe. Welcome to our virtual field trip. Hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you. Back to you, Ollie.
Thank you, Joe. And Chandrani Banerjee, who is our head of livelihoods programs for Nurden, which is the NGO we founded in 2011 to deliver our operations in West Bengal. And in West Bengal, we have 6 field locations. And today, Chandrani is in the field at our Sundia location. Hi, Chandrani.
Hi, Ollie. Hi, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon to all in India. So today I am in the fields with our farmer who is going to show us his field, and good luck to everyone so that I can be online all throughout the virtual field visit, because it's very, very hot here and my phone is going off and on. So okay, let's hope that we'll be able to speak to him and everything. Bye for now.
Thank you, Chandrani. We'll see you in a bit. And we also have Shmuti Das, who is based in the neighbouring state of Odisha, to help manage our partners and programs there. And today, Shmuti is in the field with our NGO partner Views. Namaste, Shmuti.
Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon to all ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Shmuti Bhushan. Currently, I am present in Ganjam district, where our agri-management is working on. So today, it is heavily raining. So that is why it is not possible to visit the farmer's field. So that's why the farmer is standing with me. Her name is Susila Dalil.
Thank you, Shmuti.
So,
we'll come back to you with Susila. Thank you very much. We also have Kashid Karodi, who is our chairman of Shivia Livelihoods Foundation based in Mumbai. But today, Kashid is joining from Kandala. Hi, Kashid.
Khurshid, you're on mute. Khurshid, you're on mute.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for making the time to join us. It's a proud moment for Shivia across the world, as some of the funds have gone for the first time from India to support our Indian farmers and our poultry farmers. And it's their day today. So without much ado, I'm going to hand over back to Ollie so that you get a taste of what we do at Field. Thank you for making the time to be with us today.
Thank you, Kashid. And I can also see various Shivia trustees on the call, so thank you all for joining. So as well as management and trustees, we have over 130 local field staff in 7 states of India and Madagascar, of which around 24 of those are dedicated to agri-management services in 5 of these states. Toria, can you show the map, please? Thank you. So as you can see here, we're running AMS in the 3 states of West Bengal, Odisha and Jharkhand, which are all on the eastern side of the country. And that's where the poorest people in the country tend to live. And we partnered with 3 NGOs, as well as Nurden, to replicate our agri-management services program in these states. We've also expanded AMS outside of India and are working with the NGO Feedback Madagascar in southern Madagascar. And Madagascar is obviously not there on the global map, but just so you can see where we're working. Thanks, Toria. And in each location, we have a field supervisor and a team of livelihood service providers running the program on a day-to-day basis. In Bengal, we have 6 current locations, and today we have our field supervisor, Pato, from Sindhya location. We also have our field supervisor, Kanhu, from one of our locations in Odisha, and our livelihood service providers, Rafikul from West Bengal and Bira from Odisha. Namaste, Pato, Kanhu, Rafikul, and Bira.
Namaste, namaste.
Great to see you all. Okay, so now to the itinerary so you know what to expect. First, we're going to show you a little footage so you can imagine what it's like to travel to the villages of West Bengal and Odisha and actually be there. Joe will then introduce you to or remind you about our Agri-Management Services program and how it actually works. We're then going to speak to one of our farmers in West Bengal, Prabir Das, who is growing marigolds. Then we're going to take you to Odisha, where Shmuti will introduce you to Shushila, who's one of our female farmers from the tribal communities who has started a kitchen garden. But as Shmuti just said, it's raining very heavily right now there, so he's no longer going to be in the kitchen garden. He's going to be in one of our farmers' houses with Shushila. And then we're going to show you a snapshot of our new Shivia Farmer app, which is our big excitement for the months ahead. And then we can come back to the office in Kolkata and London for some questions, Q&A, and those of you who have to drop off, please do. So let's immerse you into India as if you're on one of our field trips with some footage. Tori, over to you. Joe, can I now hand over to you, please, to remind everybody how Agri-Management Services works?
Hello and namaste, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Our agriculture program started in the year 2014. And we started the agriculture program because by then, I mean, the poultry program we started in the year 2011. And for the next 3 years, it was very, very successful working with the women. And in the year 2014, when we asked them how else can we help them, one of the things that came out was that their husbands or brothers or fathers have been migrating to the cities looking for better opportunities. And that is because they are not making much profits in their agriculture fields. And that is the time when we studied this little bit more and find out what was the main reason why they were moving out to the cities. And there were two things that came out from there. One was that the cost of production was going up every year, the input costs. And the second was that the yield has been falling with each passing year. And because of these two challenges, they were trying to move out to the cities looking for better opportunities. So we did a little bit of more research on how to overcome these challenges. And we came up with a 5-step holistic approach on how we can solve these two problems. So the first one is the soil testing. So we began with testing the farmers' field soil to see what is there in the soil and what is actually lacking, so that we fix the soil first, and then they can grow their crops so that they have the optimum yield. What was happening before that was that they were just going to the market, buying some random nutrients and just putting it in their fields, which was not necessarily adding any value to the field and were just their costs going up. The second thing that we did was we put these farmers into small groups of 15 to 25 farmers in each group. And then we connected these farmers to the wholesale suppliers for the inputs, for the seeds, for the fertilizers, for the pesticides. So this helped in reducing the cost for them, because before that, they were going as an individual to the retail shop to buy these inputs, which was costing them much higher. So this again helped in reducing the cost for the farmer. And the third and the most important thing, according to me, is that over the years, the farmers have been using these chemicals in their fields, the chemical pesticides and fertilizers. We have been training to move them out gradually from using these chemicals in the fields to use more and more bioproducts, whether it's biopesticides or biofertilizers. In fact, we also train these farmers on how to prepare these biopesticides and fertilizers at home with the natural resources that are easily available in their area, like the cow dung, the cow urine, jaggery, various leaves, garlic, etc. This again helps in reducing the cost for the farmer, but also is very good for the environment as a whole. The fourth thing that we did was we opened bank accounts for them as a group of 15 to 25 farmers in each group. We opened the bank accounts for them. And we suggested that they deposit small amounts of money every month, and they can use that amount when they need it for their crops, whether it's harvesting period or sowing period, for paying the laborers or buying the inputs. They can use that money to do that. What they were doing before was they were going to the money lenders who were charging very high interest rates from these farmers. So this again helps in reducing the cost for the farmer. And the fifth thing that we did was there are a lot of government programs for these farmers. So the government provides free seeds, free fertilizers, various training programs. You have crop insurance, Kisan credit cards. All these are available from the government. But our farmers are not aware of these programs that are available for them. So our field team actually goes to these block offices or the local government block offices, find out what schemes are there available for the farmers, and they connect our farmers to those things that are available from the government. This again helps in reducing the cost for the farmer and also knowledge transfer, because there are many training programs from the government. So what we have seen that over a period of 2 years, if the farmer implements all these, we have seen that the cost of production falls by anywhere between 15 to 25%, depending on what crop he or she is growing. And also the yield is going up anywhere between 20 to 40%, depending on the crop he or she is growing. And this program is for a period of 2 years. And in these 2 years, we train the farmer on all these skills. And after 2 years, the farmer is independent on his or her own. And after that, with those skills, they move ahead. And that is what our agriculture program is all about. And in terms of numbers, over a period of, I think, 11 years, we started in the year 2014. Now we are in 2025. We have trained over 17,000 families across all the places where we are working. In West Bengal, it is 15,000, but across the other states where we are working, it's
Oh, looks like Joe's frozen. So I'll continue what he was saying. So across the other states, it's about another 2,000. But one big thing is that whole communities change the way they farm because of agri-management services. So we've helped more like 100,000 or so people through the program. So thank you very much, Joe, when he comes back on.
Yeah, I think he's trying to come back in now.
Yeah, he's trying to come back on, but that's fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to meet Prabir Das.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yes, Joe, you're back on, but don't worry, I finished off your piece.
Name it technology. There's a power cut in my house. So I was just saying that over the period of 11 years, we are working with 17,000 families. But what I would like to say here is that 17,000 families is direct. We are directly working with 17,000 families. But I would say that indirectly, it would be more than 100,000 families. Because what is happening in the village is that the other farmers who are not a part of our group, they are also adopting these technologies and these learnings, and they're implementing it in their fields. So I would say indirectly, we are helping more than 100,000 families. So thank you so much. And I'll be on my phone till the power comes back, Ollie. Sorry.
No worries, Joe. Thank you for coming back on again. So I was just saying, Joe, we're now going to go meet Prabir Das, who's our farmer who joined about a year ago and is now growing marigolds in Shundia location. And Joe was with Prabir about a week ago and shot this little video, and then we'll go live to him and Chandrani in the field. So Tori, if we can just show the video, please, of Prabir last week.
Hello, everyone. I am currently here in West Bengal, where Shivia has trained about 15,000 farmers in agriculture program. We call it AMS or Agri-Management Services. And today we are going to meet one of the farmers who is growing marigold. What's your name?
Namaskar, Prabir Das.
Okay. So the farmer's name is Prabir Das. Or কতদিন হয়েছে আপনি এই প্রোগ্রামে?
1 বছর.
Okay. So it's been 1 year that he's joined this program. And this is Rafikul, the livelihood service provider, or the gentleman who's trained the farmer on various techniques to grow marigold. More sustainable way, like using biopesticides, biofertilizers, soil testing, government linkages, etc. And now I'm going to ask the farmer that before he joined the program, what were his costs and what it is now. So Prabir, आपने ये program join करा? So Prabir is saying that before he joined the program, it was about 5,000 rupees, his costs. And now after joining the program, it's about 3,000 to 3,500 rupees. And now I'm going to ask him about the yield or the output. এখন ফলন কত হচ্ছে? আগে কত হতো আর এখন কি?
আগে 8,000 টাকা হতো, এখন আমার একটু বৃদ্ধি হয়েছে, এখন 10-12,000 টাকা আমি।
Okay. So before he joined the program, his output was about 8,000 rupees in a year. And now, after joining a program, it's between 10,000 to 12,000 rupees. তো আপনি যে এক্সট্রা টাকা যে হচ্ছে, ও টাকা দিয়ে আপনি কি করছেন?
আমি আবার লিজ নিয়েছি জমি, লিজ নিয়ে আমি এই চাষাবাদ করি।
So I was asking him that with the extra money that he's making now, what is he doing with that money? And he is saying that he's planning to take more land on lease and grow more marigolds based on the techniques that he learned from Rafikul. And now what I would like to do is to show you this field of marigolds and then compare it with another farmer who is doing the marigolds but not part of our group. So as you can see, the number of flowers, the healthy leaves and the height of these plants. And what we will do now is that we'll go to another field which is about 1 minute walking distance and then compare with that field. Yes, now I have entered other farmers' field who is not the part of our group. And as you can see, these marigold plants, they are less height, less flowers. And now I want to ask Prabir whether he is happy with the program. Prabir, Rasho. তো আপনি এই যে লাভ হয়েছে এখন বেশি, তো আপনি কি খুশি আছেন?
হ্যাঁ খুশি।
Okay. So I was asking him that whether he is happy with the extra yield or extra money that he is making, and he's saying that he is very happy. How so happy? He's saying he's happy, but he's not smiling. Okay. So what I would like to say is that yes, directly we have helped about 15,000 farmers in West Bengal, but I feel that indirectly the numbers are much more. I think it will be close to 100,000 farmers. It is because that all those farmers who are not part of our group or not part of our training, even they are learning from our farmers and they are adopting those techniques in their fields. So everybody is benefiting from there. So the numbers may be 15,000 directly, but I would say indirectly more than 100,000 farmers. Again, this would not be possible without your support. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you.
So we're now going to go to Chandrani and our LSP Rapid Cool who are with Prabir live. Chandrani.
Yes, we are here, Ollie. We are still there.
I like the marigolds,
And I'm
I
in
like
the
the marigolds
fields.
around your neck.
Yeah, he welcomed us. He welcomed us with the marigold flowers.
Excellent.
His field flowers. He will pluck them today and take them to the market to sell it in the evening.
Okay,
So he's already plucking them.
So Chandrani, can I start off by asking Prabir a question, which is
Yes.
where does Prabir sell his marigolds? Does he take them to the local market or to Kolkata, or does an agent come and get them from him? How does that process work?
প্রবীর, তুমি তোমার ফুল কোথায় বিক্রি করো? কোনো এজেন্ট আসে না, তুমি বাজারে নিয়ে যাও না কলকাতা নিয়ে যাও?
না আমি কলকাতা বাজারে নিয়ে যাই।
আচ্ছা, কতক্ষণ লাগে এখান থেকে?
আমার এখান থেকে যেতে 1 ঘন্টা, আসতে 1 ঘন্টা।
So Shundia location is quite close to the city of Kolkata. He takes them to the city, to Kolkata. It takes him about an hour and he gets the best price for his flowers.
Okay. And can you ask Prabir, why does he grow marigolds? What's the demand for marigolds?
আচ্ছা, তুমি গাঁদা ফুল কেন চাষ করো? ডিমান্ড কি রকম?
ডিমান্ড মানে আমাদের এই পুজো এসে গেছে, আমরা এই গাঁদা ফুলটা এখন তো অক্টোবর মাস পর্যন্ত আমাদের পুজো আছে, আর
গাঁদা ফুলটা তো সারা বছরই চলে।
সারা বছরই আমি চাষ করি, এটা আমি সারা বছরই চাষ করি।
Okay, so earlier also I was discussing this with him. So what he had just said is right now the festival season is knocking at the door. The Durga Puja, Diwali, several until the month of February, and the wedding season will start. It has already started actually. So he will have a very high demand for his flowers and he will sell them at a very good price in the market. And anyway, marigold is a flower which is in high demand throughout the year because of very, very good reasons. Like this is a very common flower which is used in daily worshipping of gods and goddesses in every household, Hindu household in India. And then it is a very good dyeing agent, the color of the flowers, the flower petals. And then also it has got very good medicinal benefits, the marigold flower. And also for decorations of wedding houses, of any kind of festivals, welcoming guests, and the puja is always there. So he has always been growing marigold all throughout the year, and it is a plant which grows all throughout the year.
Thank you, Chandrani. And just one more question to Prabir. If anyone on the floor has a question, please put it in the chat function. But I was just wondering, Prabir, were you nervous about going from using chemical pesticides and fertilizers to organic ones? Were you worried about this big shift?
প্রবীর, তুমি যখন তোমাকে রফিকুল বললো যে কেমিক্যাল ছেড়ে তুমি জৈব করো, তোমার কি একটু নার্ভাস হয়েছিলে? একটু প্রথমে
একটু নার্ভাস ছিলাম, তারপরে এখন মোটামুটি
yes, he was quite nervous and he thought he will not get a good yield, but he says the results are just the opposite, and he's extremely happy that he has listened to our LSP Rafiqul and adhered by all his instructions, and now he's got such a wonderful yield. I'm showing you, like the field is full of marigold.
Fantastic.
It looks amazing, Chandwani. I have a question actually. I just wondered if Prabir had any other challenges. Obviously, we've talked today about torrential rain. It gets very, very hot. So maybe some weather challenges. But does he have any other challenges he'd like to tell us about?
Challenges while being in our program or before our program?
Well, yes. I mean, that's a good question.
Or
yeah,
in general,
in general, are there any other, being a farmer these days in India, the challenges he's facing, or are they all solved?
এখন তোমার কি মনে হয় যে একটা চাষি হয়ে তোমার কিছু কিছু এমন সমস্যা আসে যেটার জন্য তুমি এগুলো ফেস করতে হয়, কারণ তুমি চাষ করো, চাষ না করে অন্য কিছু করলে হয়তো সেগুলো আসতো না? কি কি চ্যালেঞ্জ আসে তোমার?
কি কি অসুবিধা চাষীদের?
হ্যাঁ, চাষীদের। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ফ্লাড হয়ে যায়,
গাছের দুর্বলতা হয় এবং আমরা বিষ প্রয়োজনটা ঠিক মতন করতে পারি। সেই হিসেবে আমরা মোটামুটি, আমি এই থেকে রফিকুলদার থেকে আমি মোটামুটি ভালো
না তুমি কি কি সমস্যা ফেস করতে?
সমস্যা হতে পারে এই ফুলের একটু সমস্যা হতে পারে, রোগ হতে পারে। সেই রোগটা মুক্ত করার জন্য আমরা বিভিন্ন রকম রাসায়নিক মানে তেল জাতীয় স্প্রে করি।
So what Prabir is saying is the challenge, there is only one challenge right now that he has, is the weather, the climate. Very recently also it was raining until last week from the month of April, and his field was flooded. So that was the challenge, because this marigold flower needs continuous drainage of water to go out of the fields, and that is where he faced a challenge, which they usually do. All the farmers have faced the same challenges. And also for disease, he is already taking precautionary measures because of the flood and because of the water accumulation. He fears that there might be some disease attacks, but he is already taking precaution with the help of Rafiqul and Partho, and therefore he is now otherwise he is very confident that he will recover from any kind of other challenges, because he has learned so well in this program in the last 1 year.
Thank you, Chandrani. We do have a few questions in the chat, and then we're going to move on to Odisha. So one of the questions is from Empathy Action, which is, what are Prabir's best harvesting techniques? You know, does he require many tools and equipment for his actual harvesting?
প্রবীর, তোমার কি এটা চাষ করার জন্য অনেক কিছু যন্ত্রপাতি ইউজ করতে হয় নাকি খুব বেশি? কোদালের ইংলিশ কি?
না, আমরা মেশিনে খোঁড়া, চষা খোঁড়া করি। এখন ট্রাক্টর জাতীয়,
হ্যান্ড ট্রাক্টর জাতীয় আসছে।
তারপরে তো আর খুব কাজ নেই,
তারপরে হাতে আমরা এটা মেকআপ করি।
ওকে, সো ফর marigold farming, they don't require many tools, except in the beginning he needs a hand tractor, which he uses, which he has used, and after that all the work is with his hands, so not many tools are required. Joe, can you translate kodal for me? Kodal.
It's a small hand spade. That is the closest I can get.
Yes, with a handle. So they use that, only that as a tool. Not many tools are required.
Thank you, Chandrani. And then there's a question from Brian, which is, can you help us to understand the non-financial benefits of being part of a wider farming group and the support the farmers give each other in the farmer interest groups that we form and put them in? The non-financial benefits.
It's that I can answer, right? Okay. Or should I ask Prabir?
No, maybe you answer.
Is that a question?
I'm conscious of time, so maybe you answer that one, Chandrani.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Non-financial is the actual process of farming. That is what Joe has just explained in those 5 steps, which even farmers looking at him, farmers like Prabir, making huge profits. The finance is the motivator. Because of the huge difference in his income now, people are coming and learning. Other farmers are trying to learn his methods, his techniques that he has adopted, that he is using in the fields, and getting such a good yield and lowering the input costs. So that is the help which he is doing, and his FIG members, other 15 farmers, are helping their brothers or farmer brothers across the village to adopt, and they have also motivated many farmers to access this kind of knowledge and skills, and therefore they are also performing very well. Apart from that, for the government linkages and schemes for which they get seeds, fertilizers, various kind of tools from the government agricultural offices, they also give them knowledge about that, pass on the information, and takes help, sometimes help from our LSPs to fill up the forms, go to the block offices and access those as well. So yes, definitely, they have gained a lot from the program.
I'll add one financial benefit, Brian, which has been enormous, which is that in the past, many men in the villages used to migrate to the cities because there was no profit in farming, or farming was just too challenging or too difficult, and they were in much debt. But since we've been doing this Agri-Management Services program, one of the big non-financial benefits they tell us is that they now don't migrate to the cities anymore for different types of labor. They're now staying back in the villages with their home and doing farming again. So that's a huge impact of the program.
Absolutely.
I'm going to move on, but Burgess, your question very quickly, I'll answer, which is we haven't been linking these farmers to export and international fair trade certification because it's all quite local. These are very, we've been doing everything on a local basis, but thank you for your question. And it's something which I'll take offline with the team and we can discuss. And then there's one more, has he managed to create a team? Has he managed to create a tea for himself as the yield is more, generating more income for people in the community as well? A team, sorry. Well, yes, so I don't think it's a team for himself. I think what they do is they do bring in all their family members to help. And then when they make money, what they often do is they then go and lease more land because they don't own their land, it's all on lease. So when they earn more money, they take more land on lease and expand their crops, and then they can either bring other village people in to help them with the sowing and the harvesting. Brilliant. So Chandrani, Prabir, Rafikul and Pato at Sundia location, thank you very much for your time today and giving us an insight into your marigold farming. Hi, Pato.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to see you all. Thank you, Chandrani.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to head over to Odisha, which, as you saw on the map, is in the neighbouring state to West Bengal. And here we will meet one of our female farmers who is from the tribal communities. And these communities are extremely poor and they live in very remote locations that aren't usually serviced by NGOs, charities or government programs. And in Odisha, you heard from Joe how in Bengal we've worked with 15,000 farmers. Well, in Odisha, since 2020, we've worked with 1,600 farmers in Agri-Management Services. So Victoria's going to show you a little clip which Shmuti, who you met earlier, recorded last week with our farmer Shushili Dalai. And Shushila has been trained by Shivia and our partner NGO Views.
Hi everyone, this is Smriti Bhushan, Assistant Consultant for Shivia. Currently, I am here at Chakaambo village of Ganjam district where our Agri-Management Service is going on. Basically, we are working with 600 farmers in agriculture sector by the help of Views organization. So today I am lucky to stand with a women farmer whose name is Sushila Dalai. So, ଭଲ ଅଛନ୍ତି? ଭଲ ଅଛନ୍ତି? ହଁ ଭଲ ଅଛନ୍ତି। ମୁଁ ଆଜି ଆସିଥିଲି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ କିଛି କଥା ହେବି, କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ। ଆଚ୍ଛା। I asked her why and when you start your agriculture farming, and she is telling that Basically, she belongs to a poor tribal community where she had to face a lots of challenges like nutritional challenges, emotional challenges, financial challenges. Even sometimes she has to depend on forest for their daily livelihood. So as she had some agricultural land, she thought to start her own farming. From then to till now, she is doing the agriculture farming. Ma mate apna ebe kuantu apna to aguru acha. So I asked her, how do you practice agriculture in before and what is your experience working with views? She is telling that before joining with views, she had zero scientific knowledge on agriculture, zero knowledge on organic farming. Basically, we can say she has nothing. She has no knowledge on agriculture. That's why she only followed traditional agricultural practices. But after some time, when the views came and by the support of views official, she got to know what is the organic farming and what is sustainable farming. From then to till now, she is doing the farming by the organic process. मत आपण कहतु जो व्यूज आपन को आसिकी बारंबार बहुत जिनस शिखेला कौन सब नुआ जो जिनस शिखेला So I asked her, what are the new things that you learned from views and what are the different types of vegetables that you crop right now? And she is telling that from views she got to know different things like what is the difference between the traditional farming and organic farming. She came to know what is the benefit of SRI and LT in the agricultural sector, how to manage pests, how to disease control, how to make kitchen garden. So these are the things that she learned from the views organization. And right now she is doing different types of vegetables like okra and brinjal, tomatoes, bitter gourd, etc. Ma mate आपण एबे कहंतु ए जो परिया पत्र आपण चाष बास कर
पैसा थिले हमर घरे इत्यादि खर्च अछि घरे खर्च न थाई जाय
अच्छा अच्छा So I asked her, where did you sell your vegetables and what did you do in your income? She is telling that basically she sold her vegetables in the nearest market, weekly haट, and sometimes some buyers are also coming to her home for buying the vegetables. And whatever the profit she has got, she mostly spend her income towards the education, health, and keep some money in the bank for the future investment. And she is also telling that she bought a mobile with a rupees of 16,000 for her daughter's education, and it is a great achievement for Susila. Ma mate आपण एबे कहंतु आपण एते दिन हला चाष बास करूचंदी
बड़ी हात्र हमके इच्छा होची
So I asked her, do you have any socio-economic changes in your life after doing the agriculture practices? She is telling that yes, absolutely, because by the help of agriculture she is economically stable now, so that she can easily afford education to her children, and she can also contribute towards the household expenses. Even she is socially well recognized now because she is a well established farmer. She is also giving or also providing some knowledge regarding the agriculture to different farmers. That is why she is telling that she is very much happy after doing the agriculture practices. तो माँ मत बर्तमान आपण कहतु चाष बास को लेकिन आपंकर भविष्य योजना कौन
चाष बास को लेकिन भविष्य योजना बेले आम ए बरस एति जगार करिछु आउ टिके आगु को आम बढ़िया पे चाहिछ आम आउ टिके
So I asked her what is her future plan, and she is telling that she wants to expand her agriculture farming in a commercial way so that her income will be doubled, her productivity will be doubled, and she is also expecting some assistance from organization so that she can start a new business in the village also. आ बर्तमान माँ मत आपण कहले हमर जो एग्री मैनेजमेंट सर्विस ए प्रोग्राम चली आपण हेते
करूचो आपन आम धन्यवाद जनाउ.
So I asked her, are you happy with our AMS program? And she is telling that she is extremely happy and obliged to be associated with AMS activities, and also thanking to Shivia and Views for the wonderful support to change her social status. Ma'am Muraili, namaskar.
आपनाको नमस्कार.
नमस्कार.
संस्कार को धन्यवाद.
नमस्कार. नमस्कार.
नमस्कार.
So lastly, I am also thankful to Views and Shivia for your enormous support and help to bring a remarkable changes among the tribal community. Thank you very much and namaskar.
Shmuti, if we can bring you up live now, please.
Yes, thank you, Oli. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. So you're now in one of the farmers' houses because of the heavy rain
Yes,
in
yes,
Odisha. But it's lovely to see you.
yes.
And Shmuti, can you please ask Shushila? She mentioned in the video that she wanted, with her income from the her kitchen garden, she wanted to start up a new business in the village, a new enterprise. What can you ask her what that enterprise is to give us an idea, please?
Okay. ମା ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ଏବେ ଚାଷବାସ କରିକି ଯୋଉ ଅଧିକ ଲାଭ ପାଇଲେ ଯୋଉ ଆପଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ନୂଆ ବିଜନେସ କରିବେ କଣ ସେଥିରେ ନୂଆ ବିଜନେସ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି?
ନୂଆ ବିଜନେସ୍ ଚାହୁଛନ୍ତି କହିଲେ ଆମେ ନୂଆ ବିଜନେସ୍ କରୁ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମକୁ ତ ପାଣି ନଦୀର ଭୂମି ନଦୀ ତଳେ ରହୁଛି ଜମି ଭୂମି ଉପରେ ରହୁଛି।
Acha. So basically I asked her, so she wants to expand her business in terms of the goatry farming. So she is now doing the agriculture and she is very much interested. If she will get some assistance from the organization, then she will be happy to do goat farming.
Okay, excellent. Well, this is something we're hearing a lot from the tribal communities, how with the
Yes,
extra
yes.
income, they want to have goat farming. And we have just launched our goat farming program again in May this year in the state of Bihar. So hopefully it's something we can roll out to Odisha at some point. Thank you,
Thank you.
Shmuti. I'm just going to have a look at
Thank
the
you.
chat
Thank you.
function to see if there are any other questions for Shushila. And Tori, do you have any questions which you might want to ask?
Well, yes, I was really interested actually to hear about how she's spending her money, and she's got a mobile phone. I've been out to some of those villages in Odisha with you, Ollie, and we know how far away these markets and schools and that are. I mean, we've trekked for for long, for ages to get to some of these very remote villages. I can see she is obviously in a remote area. So I guess I was just wondering what provision there is for education there and how much the phone is impacting her daughter's education.
ଏ ଯୋଉ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଝିଅ ମାନେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ପାଠ ସବୁ ପଢୁଛନ୍ତି ସବୁ କଣ ପାଖାପାଖି ପଢୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ଦୂରରେ ରହୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଅସୁବିଧା ହଉଛି?
ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଅସୁବିଧା ଆମେ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଲା ଆପଣ ବଡ ଝିଅଟା ଚିକିଟିରେ ରହୁଛନ୍ତି।
ଆଚ୍ଛା।
ଆଉ ଏବେ ପିଲା ଦିଟା ଏବେ ତ ପଞ୍ଚମ ଜଣେ ପଢୁଛି ଜଣେ ବର୍ଷ ଚୟନ ହେଲା।
ଆଚ୍ଛା। So she tells that her daughter is studying in far away from her village and it is approximately 40 kilometers away from the village. So it is too difficult for her to stay away from like a daughter. So that is the challenging.
Okay, so Shmit, if I can just relay that, because I know this situation, which is where
Yes.
the education in the nearby villages is of a very poor provision. So some of these women send their daughters to, it's a state school, but far away, and they have to pay with the extra income for the hostels. So I think what you're saying here is that the mobile phone is wonderful because it means she can stay in touch with her daughter, who's living in a hostel and having education elsewhere.
So basically she is now staying at hostel.
Yes.
She's now staying hostel, but she has to face lots of challenges because she has not get the proper food like what she got in the family. So this is the challenges that she has faced.
Excellent. Thank you, Shmuti. Sorry, I can't seem to see the chat function. Can you see any of the questions?
I can see there is a new. So, Ollie, Yvonne here, do you have any idea what the cost of the program, what is the cost of the program which can improve someone's life like this? So what I think maybe if Yvonne's asking what the cost for one farmer would be, maybe for the 2-year program.
Yeah, period. Joe, I'm gonna fling that over to you, Joe.
Yes,
how
you
much
said yes,
it
that
cost
is.
for one farmer to go through a 2-year program with us?
Yes. Thank you, Ollie. Can you hear me? I'm still on the phone, so I'm not sure. Can you hear me, Ollie?
We can hear you.
Yes. So roughly it costs about 30,000 pounds to train 400 farmers for a period of 2 years. So 30,000 pounds, 400 farmers over a period of 2 years. So that's the cost.
Okay. And then we've got just one, thanks, Joe, for that. And then Peterbrook has said, how easy is it to access banking for saving for the future? Actually, that was a question I was thinking of as well, Peter, because again, going to these villages, they are very, very remote. So I was wondering if there is a central little savings place or whether it's all done digitally now. So that's back to, well, I don't know, Joe, do you know the answer to this?
The banks.
Yeah, if for somebody like Susila, how would she save?
Yeah, so the banks are very far from the villages, at least 10, 12 kilometers from the village. But the good thing is that nowadays you have a zero balance account, Jan Dhan Yojana account, which means that any person can have a zero balance in a bank and still have an account, which was not there before. You need to have a minimum balance you need to maintain in a bank. But nowadays it's not there. So that's why more and more farmers are opening bank accounts. Initially, when we started in the year 2011, Shivia, at that time it was not there. So financial literacy was a big thing. We used to take whiteboards and marker pens and explain to the farmers the importance of saving. We used to, after selling the chicken and agriculture produce, we used to go with the farmer to open a bank account for them and deposit in the bank account. All that was going on at that point of time. But nowadays it's much easier because you have a zero balance account. But still, it's very from the tribal villages that we are working.
Thank you, Joe. I'm afraid we're going to have to move on because I would like to tell a bit about the app before we close. But Shruti, can I just get you back on, please? There you are. Can I thank you, Kanhu and Shushila, very
Yes.
very much.
Everyone is here. Everyone is here.
Thank you, ma'am.
She is the farmer.
Shushila, hi. Namaskar.
Oh,
okay. Looks like we've lost them anyway. So good timing. So
and she is also thanking to Shivia for giving.
Okay.
She is he is the supervisor of our AMS, that is Kanhu.
Hi, Kanhu.
Namaste, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am.
And he is the LSP of our area.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. Okay, Bera, thank you so much. Shruti,
Yes.
I'm going to let you go
Thank
now.
you, thank
Let's
you.
move
Thank
on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we've seen two farmers, one in West Bengal and one in Odisha. But as mentioned, we're also working in the state of Jharkhand with AMS and further afield in Madagascar. Joe, can you quickly explain our expansion strategy and replication model to these other states as well as Madagascar?
Sure. Thank you so much. And I'll make it quick. We're running short of time. So yes, I already explained about the 5-step holistic approach that we did for agriculture program. And same thing we went and replicated in other locations with some few changes. And the changes were because when we traveled to these tribal communities, what we saw was that the food security was a big challenge. We saw that the women and the children were malnutritioned. So that is why we started a kitchen garden over there. So where we trained these farmers on how to grow seasonal vegetables in their backyard. We provided these farmers with seeds, 6 to 8 kinds of vegetable seeds, both the summer and winter vegetables. And we trained them on biopesticides and fertilizers. And they used this in their kitchen gardens and they were growing these vegetables for their consumption. And with this process, what we've noticed is that the health has improved. The women's health has improved. The children's health has improved. And now what we are seeing is that these women are now selling the vegetables in the local market. So that is with that extra money, they are helping their children in education, as you just heard. That is one addition that we did to our model. The other thing that we started in Jharkhand last year was a seed bank. What we observed in Jharkhand was that for the last few years, they were trying to grow paddy, but they were not getting enough paddy because there's not enough rain in those areas. But they were still trying to do paddy, which needs a lot of rain. Over there, we started growing the traditional crops like the millet, bajra, jawar, etc., which needs less rain and it is more nutritious. And with the seed bank, we have all those traditional seeds in those seed banks, which the farmers are now accessing and growing those crops in their fields. And they are very, very happy now because for the last few years, they were not able to make any money from the agriculture fields. And now for the last 2 years, they are very, very happy with their crops. And again, they are selling crops and using it for their own consumption and feeding their children with that. So those are the 2 additions that we have done for the agriculture model in India. For Madagascar, again, the farmers or the people are very, very poor, where nutrition is a big challenge for the females, for the children, etc. So again, we started a kitchen garden over there. We are working with 100 families in Madagascar. And again, we are training these farmers on how they can use these seeds to grow local vegetables, both summer and winter vegetables in their backyard, using the biopesticides and fertilizers. And with that,
again, we have seen that the nutrition, the health has improved for the women. The children are much healthier now. And what I'm seeing every trip that I go, that it is much more greener now. Because I remember 2 years back when I went there, it was all dry, brown, dusty. And now when I go there, I'm so happy to see there's so much of greenery around their backyard. So those are the things that we are doing in Madagascar. Ollie, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. So just before we end, I wanted to touch on an exciting project that we're in the process of developing, which is the Shivia Farmer app. We used to have all our knowledge in physical paper manuals, but no one uses manuals these days. Plus, our farmers now have much more access to smartphones, better connectivity, and they can afford or they can get cheap data in India. So we've built the app for the farmers to have access to information on all our programs, field staff to use the app as a complementary training tool, and NGOs to be able to replicate our work elsewhere. Toria, I'm going to hand over to you quickly to show some images of the app and just explain its functionality and potential.
Okay, so if you were going to go onto the App Store or the Google Play Store, you would see a series of screenshots, and this is more or less what I'm showing you here. So this is what we call our splash screen, which is the first screen you see when you download the app. And then how we're doing it is, this is our menu, which shows the different, I beg your pardon, I'll show it to you in English first. This is our main menu with all the different sections on the programs we're running. And it's currently available in English and Bengali. So that's obviously the menu in the Bengali language. We are going to translate it into various other languages soon. So currently English and Bengali here, and then French actually, because in Madagascar, that's one of the main languages, but also the other languages for the other states that we're working in. So this is a very, it's a very easy to navigate menu. You'd click on agriculture and you can see all the different categories of the subject matters that we're covering, from growing paddy, diseases affecting paddy. If you clicked on growing paddy, it would take you to some articles for each of those steps. So steps for growing paddy, plot management, which are the sowing methods to use. And then again, this is how we've done diseases affecting paddy. We've got an article on each of the main diseases that a farmer might have to deal with, and the practical advice of how to identify the symptoms and then how you would treat that disease. For example, another one here is sowing methods, which one to choose. Again, all supported with some nice visuals and very clear, easy to understand text in your local language. Again, growing kitchen gardens, the different methods for doing that, which we talked about with Cecilia in Odisha. And this is the poultry section. Again, why do backyard poultry farming and how to start your farm. So all very clear, easy to understand, we hope very easy to navigate. And we're actually testing this at the moment with some of the farmers in one of our locations in West Bengal and checking that it's as easy to navigate as I'm suggesting, and we get their feedback on that and send that back to our developers. There's a couple of other functions. You can save articles so that when you come back to your save list, your favorites list, the articles you're most interested in will be saved there. And also, this is one of the screens showing the Bengali script, but if you can see just up here, there's an icon here, which is actually an ear, and shows that there's an audio transcription for that. And Chandrani's been working very hard to transcribe all the Bengali articles to audio files. And so a farmer who wasn't particularly proficient maybe at reading the text could actually listen to that text. We've also, one of our field supervisors, Pato, has done a lot of work creating some how-to videos, and they're all published on YouTube, and the app will actually link to those videos so you can learn how to build, for example, the perfect sized shed for the flock of chickens that you have, whether it's 10 or 50 or 100. You can get push notifications through the app, so we can send them to local areas. So we could do a general one, but if there was say a cyclone about to hit somewhere in Bengal, we can send out push notifications. And also there's a function here where you can actually get in contact with us, ask a question, and one of our team is on the end of that notification system and can actually message people back on the notice board. There's also an About Shivia section, which is mainly we feel for our supporters who want to know more about Shivia as well. So it's not just an app for the farmers. We hope that other people would access that and learn more about us. And as you can see, I've highlighted the how you can support Shivia part of the app. So it's very interactive, something we're building on all the time. And yes, it sort of will be launched properly in the very near future on an app store near you.
Thank you, Toria. So actually, most of the farmers in India have access to Android phones. They're much more available, they're more affordable, and there are different models of them. So that will be on the Google Play Store. But here in the over in the UK, I think most people have more iOS system Apple phones. It's on the App Store, so it will be available on both the App Store and the Google Play Store. And I think the thing I'd like to reiterate is that before we even developed or built the app, we did do a big survey with our farmers to find out whether they would find it useful and what features they would find most useful. And the fact that most of them are illiterate was huge, hence why we're making it so visual and have so many of those how-to videos and so many of those those texts translated. We're Chandrani reading them out, so they can just click on the ear, as Victoria said. So it's really exciting, and I hope that this time in a few months we'll have it in 8 different languages, being readily used by our staff and our farmers. So I think that therefore comes to the end of our AMS field trip. So does anyone have any questions? I know people probably have to drop off, but other people, you're welcome to stay on because the Shivia team will stay around. But if anybody does have any questions, please do post them in the chat or
actually everybody, I'm getting lots of claps. That's really, really encouraging. Thank you. If you don't mind, if you want to turn your video on now, I'm going to take a quick screenshot just to sort of see all these wonderful faces. We've had 42 people on this Zoom meeting today, which is absolutely brilliant.
So if we can come off, I'll put your videos on. I'll put on gallery there. I can see everybody now.
Yeah, I can see you all smiling away. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Ollie,
yes.
You might want to mention that Shivia is very aligned and very cognizant of the UN 17 Sustainable Goals, and we lock into many of them. So yes, we're very holistic. We look at not just profits and map carefully where the excess earnings go into a second enterprise or education, everything. Knowledge capital at Shivia is huge, but we also look holistically, and we talked about this earlier, that it's not all financial. We keep families together, prevent them breaking up with labor coming into cities, thinking that cities are paved with gold. Excess eggs, for example, if not sold, are consumed for protein, etc., etc. So I just thought I'd mention that we're very, very aligned to global norms in sustainability.
Thank you, Kashid.
Yeah, well said.
Thank you. And we will be running, as I said at the beginning, a field trip. Going to see some of our fish farmers in November, and then we'll do another poultry one probably in March, and then we'll do hopefully in May, June. We'll have to take some people to go and meet some of our goat farmers. So we're going to be running these throughout the year, so you can dip in and dip out to visit the different programs. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you so much.
Quite a few people waving.